my finger on it. It's everything about you. 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 Can't
is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother. And you will know my name is the Lord. Where
it's raining, it's pouring, a black sky is falling, it's cold tonight. You gave me your answer, goodbye, now I'm all on my own tonight. But when the big wheel starts to spin, you can never know the odds. If you don't play, you never win. We were in heaven, you and I, and when I lay with you and close my eyes, our fingers touch the sky. I'm sorry, baby, you were face, a parachute of pride. To cross the line, take a tiny step, or will the spark cause a bridge to burn? My fear entwined with my regret, I'll be a path for safe return.
Grabbing the microphone. Should I stand behind the podium? Welcome. Oh, did you say grab it? Oh. Welcome to Film Fest 2025. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4. Are we streaming right now? Are we live to YouTube? Oh, are we not? Make sure that we're actually. Let me go to YouTube. Let me pull up the stream, see if I can look at myself. La da 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 da. Oh, whoops! I'm on my channel. That's not gonna help me. Okay, Double J Pro. I see cameras. Hey, I hear myself. And then I'll volume back down so it doesn't feed back through. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Check, 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 check. So does this microphone, is it also going to go to the places in here? Or just, no? 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. La da da da. 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 That was high. Dooby dooby doo. Checkity check, 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 check. Nobody knows. La da 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 da. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. I will say, people's movements on the stream right now is not very fluid. No, it's like very. 1, 2. Check, check, check. Yeah, I heard myself. I sound good. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Good. Will this microphone be fed to the house? Okay.
accepts the quarter-inch microphone or RCA.
Okay.
Stereo. And I can send RCA from my board, and I think I have a 50-foot RCA cable. I do.
So then for announcements and such, you aren't going to need the extra setup?
No. Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't think we are going to need that as long as these speakers work.
Okay, cool. I'll keep it here as a backup, but yes.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, I mean, I can use my speakers as a backup.
Oh, yeah, you're already using those guys, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Just for those have more power than my little ones.
Yeah.
I want to get. It's funny because I got a portable sound rig so that I could do things like this and rent it out and whatnot. Well, it's been rented, installed for the last 4 years. And so I want to get another portable sound rig so that I can do stuff like this while my other one's rented out. It's like,
You got it rented and installed long term, you can pay the bill for that.
well, actually, it's all, well, yeah, just in the rental, mine's already been paid off. I just don't want to spend the money to build another one.
YouTube is not receiving enough video. I mean,
What?
smooth streaming. That's such viewers with experience. Or experience live streaming. I didn't know that was.
Yes. Well, part of the problem is that I'm downloading. See, I was playing a video from YouTube and streaming it back to YouTube, and it was having problems.
Oh, yeah.
So now I'm in the process of downloading a video from YouTube so that I can play it locally back to YouTube and see if that does any better.
Are we gonna have the actual video files locally tomorrow?
Well, initially I was going to play them from YouTube just because that would be theoretically the best quality that we would have access to. I had brought up about doing like a OneDrive or a Google Drive where everybody could submit, high quality versions, but that did not work out. So, I don't know if it matters, Austin, but it looks like because it was.
Right, it was, but that, I can't adjust it that much.
Okay, so that's where it's gonna be?
That's where it's gotta be.
All right, well then I will scrap the going around the thing, because that doesn't make as much sense now.
Okay, 'cause you can do it. Right.
Okay, so for now,
Do we wanna go in between the, like the walkway there between the tables, or do we wanna,
probably go, well,
under this one?
oh, do these keys need to be somewhere other than on the floor?
Let's see.
They were just laying there.
I'm pretty sure that it was
Uh,
down there.
It probably would make more sense to go under the table. Just because that would mean chairs on top of them.
Right.
Yeah, I'll clean stuff up and take stuff down. And this. Oh my. Ooh, fuck. No cell phone? Oh my. And hmm.
Yeah.
You're missing your lock on here.
Oh, I know exactly where it is.
Okay.
It's in this bag.
Looks like it. Do you happen to have a retainer pin as an extra level of support?
I don't think so. Or is that for the speaker?
No, this is,
That's what.
it goes in, but it
Oh,
doesn't
we
have a
don't
nut
have
on
that.
it.
Oh, shoot.
But I can potentially use that as the retainer pin. It's not the great way of doing it,
Let me look around.
but it'll work if it needs to.
See some steaks, but I think they're a bit big for the,
high mid. It's a quad core i7 6700. It's a quad core water cooling or a separate cooler, which would cost yet another $50 to $100 to do that. This is the case I got. It's considered a mid tower. It's the Zolman MS800, but at 10 external bays, I would be hesitant to refer to it as mid. It's not quite as tall as a full tower, but it gets pretty good reviews. USB and whatnot on the front. It has all toolless drive bays, 10 of them as mentioned. PSUs down at the bottom, cabling, whatnot. It comes with slots for 2 fans here on the top, 1 on the back. You could put 1 down on the bottom if you wanted to. The reason I chose a 10 bay is because I do disc production, and a potential goal is to actually have 10 optical drives in there for CD and DVD burning. One of the reasons why I'm doing this video is because I got this Gigabyte Z170X Ultra Gaming motherboard, which has only been out for a few weeks, and there are very, very, very few reviews about it. So I figured I'd give one of my own. Newegg didn't have any user reviews. Amazon didn't have any user reviews. So I'm going to give it a go and see how it works out. The other Gigabyte ones get pretty good reviews, and so it should be pretty slick. I also have, I currently only have 5 of these optical drives. I got them a good deal on Newegg, and so I figure I'll start out with that, and if I want to go more, I can go more. This is really cool. It is an M2 PCI Express NVMe, and it's 256 gig Samsung SM951. The theoretic benchmarks and stuff on it are like 2 gigabytes of write speed and like over a gig of read speed, so that'll be something pretty cool to check out. Also have this DDR4. It's 2400. The Z170 chipset is rated for 2133, but I figure I'll get just a little bit of a speed bump out of it. And this I got on sale also, so good deal. I was going to go with the 2666, but that ended up being about $15 cheaper. It's 2/8. In general, I don't do more than 8 gigs of RAM in usage, so I should have plenty, and maybe even could do a little bit of a RAM drive if I wanted to. Power supply, EVGA. It's the W1 500 watt. You might say, well, 500, that seems like kind of a slim power supply for a modern generation computer, except that the CPU, the new Skylakes, the 6th generation i7s, it runs at 65 watts. That was another reason why I didn't go with the K version, because it runs, I think, at 84 watts. So it runs with a lot less power than previous generations. The DDR4 RAM, as opposed to DDR3, it's 1.2 volts instead of 135 volts, I think the DDR3 was. The video card that I'm looking at, I don't have it yet because it's sold out, is the Radeon RX 480, which I think it has a power draw of like 120 watts. It only uses 1 power connector, whereas a lot of previous generation stuff, they were doing 160, 180 watts, I think, and required 2 power connectors. So really, this is going to be a fairly power sipping, for lack of a better term, computer, even though it'll be a fairly good build. So we'll see how it all works out. We're going to start putting it together. All right. So let's start this guy out. Now, maybe something worth noting. My last computer build was 5, 6, 7 years ago. It was a mid-range build, probably lower mid-range. It was a dual-core Pentium. Other components were pretty good, but I skimped on the processor a little bit just because of cost. I had a Radeon 4830 video card, so even with the slightly lower range CPU, now keep in mind that quad cores weren't really happening much at that time except for the really, really high-end stuff, and Core 2 Duos were really the high-performance options. So the Pentium dual core, I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't a real kick. It wasn't like throwing a Celeron in there or something like that. But my last computer was also a Core 2 Duo, and it was about 5 years old. It was purchased. So this current generation of stuff is a big, big jump forward from the last thing that I did. I'm guessing that overall this computer is going to be 4+ times the computer that I'm upgrading from. Now CPU speed, single core clock, that's not going to be much different, but the simple fact that it'll be able to do 8 threads, it's so much more efficient now, faster RAM, all the different parts, the super fast hard drive, everything together, it really should make for a potent system. I hesitate to call it a high-end system because I really think in order to get into high-end, you probably need to be looking at something more lines the i7, 5820K at 6 cores and hyper-threading. Given that this has hyper-threading, the CPU that I got, at 4 cores, if it was in the high-end range, it would definitely be low-high, but, you know, consider it low-high, consider it high-mid, do what you want. One of the reasons why I chose this particular motherboard was that a lot of the kind of mid-range area 170s for ATX, they chop off like right here. And so you don't get these 3 extra screw holes for support. So when you're pushing down your RAM, when you're pushing down your power, all that stuff, you can get a lot of flex in the motherboard. I definitely did not want that. If I'm going to be spending money for something that I'm going to be using for maybe 5 years, then I want something that I can stick in and not have any issues with the hardware with it. Another reason that I looked at this is because it has SPDIF out. There were a few certain things that I was looking at when I was choosing my motherboard. I wanted SPDIF. I wanted M2, an M2 slot. And the rest of it was really kind of gravy. It's really just what you want, how much you can spend, what features you're going to have. And one of the things that's kind of cool about this, I've never been much of an LED guy with the fans with the LEDs and motherboards with the LEDs and video cards with the LEDs and cases with the LEDs. And I was never, I've been a gamer for a long time, but I was never one of those gamers. But this one, I kind of went hoo-hoo about it because it has LEDs all over the motherboard. There are LEDs down the side here. There are LEDs around the video cards. There are LEDs in between the RAM slots. It's really kind of exorbitant. It's really kind of an exaggeration. So, I'm working on a new computer build, 2016. Cool. It's going to be a
I know you're gone. I know you're leaving me behind your dreams, behind your prayers. What do you think? What do you want?
So, I'm working on a new computer build, 2016. Cool. It's going to be a high-mid. It's a quad-core i7 6700. It's quad-core with hyper-threading, so 8 threads at one time. I did not get the K because 1, I was working within budget, and 2, this has built-in CPU cooler. Certainly not anything crazy, nothing to write home about, but it does do the job. And plus, then I don't have to do water cooling or a separate cooler, which would cost yet another $50 to $100 to do that. This is the case I got. It's considered a mid tower. It's the Zolman MS800, but at 10 external bays, I would be hesitant to refer to it as mid. It's not quite as tall as a full tower, but it gets pretty good reviews. USB and whatnot on the front. It has all non-tool, toolless drive bays, 10 of them as mentioned. PSUs down at the bottom, cabling, whatnot. It comes with slots for 2 fans here on the top, 1 on the back. You could put 1 down on the bottom if you wanted to.
Check.
reason why I did.
Check.
I think they're running about $1 a gigabyte. So if it is rated for 32 gigabits per second, which roughly 3 gigabytes per second is roughly 5 or 6 times the speed of serial ATA. Again, likely never going to do it. I think this 1M2 card that I got is going to last me for a while. Now, I'm not a professional installer. I'm not a hardware reviewer, so I'm doing it here. One review that I saw online, it showed the back side of this, and I was kind of let down a little bit. I was thinking, this is a fairly expensive motherboard. The motherboard's all black. It's really cool looking, but they give you this cheesy silver backplate. Well, the actual visible side of the backplate looks a lot cooler. It's kind of shiny. I'd almost call it more charcoal than black or silver, but it looks a lot nicer than what I thought it was going to look like. Let's take this back out. Stick it in here. Now, interestingly enough, one of the motherboards that I was looking at, the Asus Z170-A,
Speaking. Woo! Hello. Check 1. Check 2. Check. Check 1. Check 2. Hello, 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 hello. 1, 2. Testing, testing. Welcome to Film Fest 2025. Oh, I don't hear any feedback anymore. 1, 2. Check, check, check. Yeah. Ooh, let's turn this one back on. Let's see. Did you fix it? 1, 2. Check, check, check. Checkity, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Here I am, standing behind the podium, talking. Oh, got a little bit there, but it went away. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check, checkity, check. Hey, hey. La la la. La la la. Mm-hmm. Check, check.
Now, hopefully, I'm going to actually put this together in the right order and not do something stupid like try to install the motherboard and then block something that I have to get to from the backside or something like that.
Hello. Word. 1, 2. Whoa. Hey now. Check, check, check. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Check, 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 check. Walking out front. Check 1, 2. Hear myself. Hear myself. Check, 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 check. Check, check. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Check, check, check. Walking, talking, talking and walking. Whoa, getting tangled up. All right. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Check, check, check. Ooh, I sound lower. Check, check. Can you hear back there? 1, 2. 1, 2. All the way in the back. Whoa. Check, check. That does sound distorted. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Check, 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 check. Testing, testing, testing. La 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 la. Check, checking the microphone. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
My screwdriver might be just a bit thick. There we go. Now, of course, if you're doing something like this, it's recommended that you not do it on carpet, that you touch bare metal, which, of course, this has none, and wear some form of anti-static stuff, like a grounded wristband or such. But, as mentioned, I don't have the ability to do any of that, so just have to get over it. Okay, so we have the motherboard in there now. Let's grab the CPU. Now, my understanding from the documentation that I read is that you leave this little plastic guy connected, and when you install the CPU, the CPU pops it out.
Back. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Check, 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 check. Checkity check. Hello? Hello? 1, 2, 3, 4. JJ has a look on his face. He looks confused. He's trying to figure something out. It's going to be a fairly budget-oriented computer. I could have easily spent $1,000 already, and after getting good deals on, I didn't buy just everything. Go, okay, I'm going to decide to do this. Now I'm going to buy everything. It was, ooh, there's a really good deal on the case that I want. I'm going to get it. Mail-in rebate and whatnot. Ooh, the RAM that I want, this particular color is on sale, so I'm going to get that one. I kind of chose the stuff that I got. I didn't... Check, check. Why was I, disappearing? And you weren't doing it. Because your hand was here. And, were you doing something? One hand was up here. Okay. Check, 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 check.
For all of this. Case, power supply, motherboard, RAM, CPU, hard drive, which I think is a good deal. Like I said, I think if I wasn't paying attention, I have to have mic 2 on, mic 1 off, and your microphone turned up.
And by switch, mean switch to video?
Huh?
You mean switch to video?
Yeah, when it goes back.
Or switch back to camera?
Microphone.
Do you need to make a note for yourself? A little post-it, maybe?
Yeah, so I definitely need to get a soundboard that has because basically what was happening is it's going, the microphone's coming in, going to the switcher so that it can go to the internet, and then turning around and coming back to the soundboard without having like a mix minus that cancels that takes it out. An i5 or quad core, but it doesn't have hyper-threading.
Welcome back. That was CJ Willis's film. Ready to give out some awards? Yeah! Making me walk. Back to the middle. Stuck in the middle with you. Check, 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 check. 1, 2. 1, 2. Testing, testing. Maybe come up the aisle a little. Whoa. Check, check, check. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Check, 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 check. Checkity 1.
Stock things, and so I'm just going to leave it on there and utilize it. I don't know if this has to go on a particular direction or if it is a perfect square as far as the mounting is concerned. The CPU fan header is there, so if I put it here, that should just maybe not.
Hey, 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 hey. Back in the building. Check 1, 2. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Why am I hearing audio down by you? Are you watching YouTube? Check 1, 2. Check, check, check. Checkity, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Push and turn. Push and turn. Push and turn. Push and turn. Okay. CPU fan header. That is for the pump. I think that one is for the fan. If you had a
It's kind of like maybe you should just get one vote for the entire in-and audience, whoever they vote for majority. Yeah. Check, check, check. Yeah. Yeah, they haven't even, to my knowledge, haven't even promoted the live stream. So I'm like, like, whose channel is it going to be on? Austin's, April's, whose? I told my family, I was like, I think it's going to be live streamed, but I don't know, like, I can't send you a link to the channel because I don't know which channel it'll be yet. You mean they're not coming to support you in person? Gotcha. Well, whoa. Oh, my phone's vibrating. Check, check, check. Checkity check. Checkity check, check. So, I was very disappointed today. I went to go search for some bow ties because I want to wear a bow tie. Well, I have bow ties, but they're all black, so I wanted a more colorful one. And I found only solid colors like red.
And header right there. Alrighty. Now grab my RAM out. Let's start installing some components. Here's the RAM. Again, this I got this on Newegg for $52. Maybe it's $52.99, but 52 is the main number. And the exact same RAM, but red heatsink, blue heatsink, black heatsink, or 65. So I figured, what the heck. Same way with the 2666. They were.
Yes.
If the YouTube stream actually showed like incoming bit rate and all that type of stuff, so I'm sending about 5 to 6 megabits per second, which I had it set for 6 megabits per second.
Now, is that with the video that you downloaded?
Well, what OBS is sending is irrelevant to what's playing.
Oh.
That's its encoding ability. So I think everything's basically working. Now I do have a limitation to the amount of volume that I can feed from the microphone with the speakers.
Oh, I mean, can you hear him in the back? Like if you were to go in the back row? I mean, you may not need to go louder.
Well, I don't consider this.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, with microphone. I mean, if you're just talking and you can hear me, like, are you straining to hear me?
And then aside from that, just the quality of the audio is not.
Well,
The frequencies is just, it doesn't sound.
well, we work with what we have. I mean, I'm sure we wouldn't want these like poles sitting here either, but they're there. Check, check, check. So did you do the test with the downloaded video?
That's what's going on right now.
Okay, and I guess let me look at it. Although I'm at 2%.
So I'm going to turn you off and turn the.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
The M2 slot. This is a kind of an interesting thing. If you haven't known much about it, I've just been finding out some of this stuff in the last couple months. You can put a serial ATA drive, or an AHCA drive, or an NMVE drive. And if you do serial ATA, you get no real benefit except for you don't have any cables. You just put the card in, done. It usually will knock out 2 of your serial ATA slots. So you sacrifice an extra serial ATA port for the benefit of not using a cable, but you don't get any speed benefit. So I think it would be better just to use a solid state serial ATA drive so you can have 2 slots. If it can't reach that full 32 gigabits per second because of the direction that it goes. The NMVE cards, on the other hand, either M2 or U2 or even a PCI Express card, those go through a different route that opens up that full 32 gigabits per second. So I opted for the NMVE. Now this particular card normally would be 180, 185 new. It's the 256. I got it on eBay used, a best offer for $100. And the only reason that I was kind of cool with going with a used one is that it's only a year old. This particular card was made June of last year. It's July right now, so it's at most a year and a month old. And so I figure it has a 3-year warranty. It only being 1 year old is not that big of a deal. Now, the thing to keep in mind about these NMVE cards, not the M2s really, it's not the NVMe. They make a 128 gigabyte version of this. It has the same read speed, but it has about half the write speed. The 256, it has the same read speed, but doubles the write speed of the 128. The 512, it has the same read speed, but even increases the write speed even more. So if you want the fast speed, you have to get the bigger space, the more expensive drive. Anything over a gigabyte per second is going to be well plenty for what I'm looking at. Of course, all of these things, I mean, a lot of that stuff's benchmark stuff. In the real world, you would have to have another one of these to even test those limits. You're not going to test it to an optical drive. You're not going to test it to a serial ATA hard drive. You're not going to test it to a USB thumb drive. So, you know, those super huge numbers are all great and everything, but at a point, they're kind of pointless. You know, there's a limit to how much it's actually useful in the real world. That screw is too small for this big screwdriver. Now this is the first time I've ever dealt with an M2 card. My understanding of it is that you need to, let's see, is that the right length? That is the right length. Okay, so you take it and you stick it in. It kind of reminds me of a SODIMM on a laptop. You stick it. Seems like that should go in more. Ah, there we go. And then you just screw it in. Now this motherboard will take short cards and even the really, really long cards. Most everything that I've seen are these 80mm ones, so having those extra slots really don't add a whole lot to me personally. Now I have seen some motherboards that have 2 and even 3 M2 slots, which I could definitely see some usefulness there, because you could get 2 of these, put them in RAID 0, and have some smoking fast speeds. The big thing about the speed here I think is really going to come with just overall operating system performance. There are reviews of people that I've seen with these that boot into Windows 10 in less than 10 seconds from off, and that's just really, really cool. Currently, my computer, it takes literally 10 minutes to reboot and get into a usable state. You know, not just to get to the desktop, but for all the background stuff to run and everything to calm down, all the stuff to load, to where your CPU and hard drive are down, 10% and less and whatnot. So if that can do it in a minute, that would be a great speed increase. If it can do it in 30 seconds, dear me. So I don't have a video card because I haven't ordered it yet. I'm going to be using onboard video for the time being. Let's see, now we can put the optical drives in. Again, I got these on sale. They're $20 normally. Each drive was, were they $6 off, I think the sale was? It was either $4 off and they were 16, or they were 6 off and they were 14. I don't quite recall right now. But, another cool thing about this particular case is this whole front is mesh. You can take these out, and they even have little foam filters in there, which I think is kind of slick. And they have some cradles here if you want to put hard drives in. which I'm not going to be doing. My whole purpose in this is for optical drive bays. Now, I was reading through the manual, and I was under the impression that with the M2 card, if it's a serial ATA card, then it would disable one of the serial ATA Express slots, which gives you 2 serial ATA ports. But if it was a PCI Express card, then it would not disable those. I was reading in the manual last night, and it says that if you do use an M2 card, whatever that card is, it's going to disable 2 of those slots. Which, if that's the case, it's kind of a bummer for me because I have 6 serial ATA slots, 5 optical drives. And so if it does, in fact, disable 2 of those ports, then that means that I can only use 4 of these drives unless I get an expansion controller card. Which, if I was going to do 10, I definitely have to do that. Thankfully, the controller cards aren't that much. 4 ports, $30 to $40. But the simple fact that it would be required would be somewhat irritating to me. Now, I mentioned the toolless case. I slide those in, and then you just pop these little prongs into your screw hole, and then lock it. Well, hold please. Well, I apparently break my new case. Yeah. Alrighty. So it's unlocked now, and for the love, what am I doing here? Unlocked to locked. Oh, ha! I was putting them in the bottom holes. I need to put them in the top holes, because that's where the lot is. Stick it in there, lock it, and your optical drive is stable. So much nicer than tools, and since I'm a big fan of not putting actual screws into optical drives, or really any drives for that matter, this is stable enough for my desire. Okay. All that is good. Now, this particular motherboard came with 4 serial ATA cables. That's better than some motherboards I've seen only come with 1, 2, or 3. But I think it'd be really, really nice if, since the motherboard has 6 serial ATA slots, if it came with 6 cables. Because if I have 5 optical drives, what that is going to mean is I'm going to have to order at least 1 cable, and it is near impossible for me to order this same cable. So if I order new cables, then that means I'm going to have to order all new cables if I want them to match. Which, optimally, that would be the right way to do it anyway, because these are all 18-inch cables, and you don't need an 18-inch cable to go from here to here. So it'd be cool to get like a couple 6-inch cables, a couple 10-inch cables, a couple 18-inch cables that all match. And if I did buy some new ones, then I would probably go with black ones. I'm not real hip on this shiny silver or shiny colors. I've seen some like ultraviolet reds and things of that nature. Maybe that'd look cool in a case with LEDs. I don't know. Maybe this will look cool in a case with the LEDs. But I think I would rather just do black. And there's a right angle and a straight for each one. Seems to me like I might rather have right angles for all of them. What I'm going to do is, from what the motherboard book says, you have your bottom slots here on the Serial ATA Express as 0, 1, and then it jumps over here to 2 and 3, and then the top one is 4 and 5. So I'm probably going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That way, if the M2 card does disable that, it's my lowest drive that doesn't work, which is not ideal. I would like it to work, that's why I bought it, but if it's not going to, then at least the one that's the hardest to reach would be the one that I'm missing. Let's see. Oh, it's upside down. Now I'll play around with some cable routing and whatnot later. Two drives connected. And as the audience gasps, I'm going to use one non-matching serial ATA cable because that's the only serial ATA cable that I have. And it might not work anyway because it might disable the port. Okay. So now, time for the power supply. Okay, and my power supply screws. Now, for all you drummers out there, you would know that you should put a screw in there, and then there, and then there, and then there, which I'm not doing, even though I do play drums. But that has more to do with even tensioning and tuning and such. Okay. Now, I did not opt for a modular power supply, which obviously would be much better, but at the same time, it's much more expensive. I was looking at my... Originally, I was wanting to do the 6-core, the 5820, but at the same time, I just didn't want to spend that much money. So, when I was looking at that one, I was planning on getting the EVGA, I think it's the B2 850, which it's a semi-modular power supply. Right. Now, let's look at cable routing just a little bit here. One thing about this case that's kind of nice, and I'm sure that any and all modern day cases are this way, but there are slots back here where you can stick your cables in, and then the case, the side itself, it has this little push out bit so that you can move things around and access and all that. So I'm going to utilize that just a little bit for some of these cables. Now, one review of this case that I read said that a lot of modern day cases have a slot right down here so that your motherboard, so that your power supply cables can go straight through there and not have to clutter up any of the inside of your case.